Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today we're going to rip the band-aid off. I don't think Overwatch 2 is that great of a title, okay? I'm just going to put it out there. Now this isn't really a hot take, but I've played Overwatch 2 for a few hours at this point, thankfully. If you've been trying to sign on to Overwatch 2 yesterday, the 7 potatoes strung together, the server hasn't exactly been doing too well. According to the team here behind Overwatch, unfortunately, we're experiencing a mass DDoS attack on our servers. Teams are working hard to mitigate and manage. This is causing a lot of drop in connection issues. Yeah, I tried playing a ranked match, and as soon as I even got into the match and had found it after a minute, it immediately booted me back out. Now, I've seen queue times of 60,000, 40,000 players, okay? So while obviously we jumped into the queue, I never understood the whole appeal of Overwatch. I mean, I enjoyed playing the game when it came out, and then they kind of fucking dropped the ball on a lot of their game changes and how they handled the balancing and all that nonsense, okay? And I'm not opposed to team-based hero shooters. Look, I've played my Team Fortress 2. Hell, I would even say Siege has some similarities to Overwatch, but Overwatch just kind of dropped it. Now, Overwatch 2 came out yesterday, and since Overwatch 2 came out, we can't play the original Overwatch because, surprise, surprise, Overwatch 2 is just fucking Overwatch 1.2, alright? They might as well just slap the 1 before. Come on now, alright? It's not a different game. The visuals haven't changed. I guess they got like DLSS in it, which it's not like your game was so goddamn taxing to begin with, Blizzard. Chill out there. Granny's pacemaker is running this just fine. But of course, once you were able to get onto the server, you could turn off Rule34.com because that's pretty much the only thing that kept Overwatch alive. The porn, ladies and gentlemen, and I was able to play a couple matches. Or at least I thought, before I got booted out again! Now, of course, then I looked up Overwatch 2's controversy because at this point, with a queue time of 40,000, I had nothing better to do. I looked up why people were a little questionable of Overwatch, and I looked at their defense matrix, okay? Now, this is two design choices they've had, which are a little questionable. For instance, SMS Protect. Now, SMS Protect isn't new, okay? I really didn't understand the bitching for this one because I played games like Siege, and Siege requires you to have a cell phone to play ranked. But then I realized, oh shit, that's just to play ranked. You could still play the casual game modes just fine. Not really with Overwatch. The security of your account is important, and SMS Protect helps verify ownership of the account in the unforeseen event of a compromise. Let's be honest, you just want to get out people who are toxic, hackers, and you're using this as a security layer for yourself, okay? Because it's a lot harder to get multiple cell phone numbers that are completely legitimate. See, over here, they basically said, since October 4th, 2022, all players across all platforms, including the consoles, are required to have a phone number attached to their Battle.net account to launch Overwatch 2. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just to launch the fucking game. Basically, if you even had Overwatch 1, okay? And you were totally doing this, you didn't have a cell phone at all. Now your game isn't playable. Now you have to get Overwatch 2. And let's say you don't have a cell phone for whatever reason, right? Tons of people don't have numbers. Or they have numbers that are tied to like voice over IP services, which aren't even allowed. A phone number can only be used once when making a new account, and certain types of numbers, including prepaid and voice over IP, cannot be used. So players can't even use the same phone numbers to create multiple accounts because they don't want you smurfing and they're trying to filter out hackers and bad players. On the surface level, this sounds great. On another level, it sounds kind of douchey to people that don't have cell phones to begin with. If you're a kid and you don't have a cell phone, which some kids don't, okay, nowadays, I mean, shit, when I was a kid, mommy and daddy didn't give me a fucking cell phone. Guess what? You can't play the game, okay? Even if you owned Overwatch 1. Well, congratulations. Surprise, surprise. You gotta roll that into the second game. Such a brain dead to at least make the casual game modes playable. At least. There's also a few people who have had plans from providers like Cricket, for instance, which offer like post-paid phone numbers, and basically it's like prepaid. It's not exactly something that would be like, I would say, the tier one. It's not like AT&T or Rogers or Bell or some big firm where like you can actually get like these monthly plans that are, I guess, more premium in the eyes of these service providers. I would have to assume the reason why they're going against prepaid services is because anybody can go into a store and grab a phone and come home with a brand new number, and so it completely defeats the point of having this filtration system. But of course, it really does suck for those people that can only afford those specific plans. Look, telecommunications is expensive in certain parts of the world. In Canada, like, I pay like around $80-90 per month for a cell phone plan, which is a little insane for people who are trying to make ends meet, right? And some people have to rely on like $30 plans or like $40 plans, and or something cheaper. Maybe they have a family bundle with some of these things. So again, those people are getting shafted all because this game wants to filter out, I guess, Smurfs and like toxic players. Again, we could strictly keep this to ranked play where it strictly matters. You can keep casual play sort of less or more, I don't know. Casual play can just allow for more leniency in this field, in my opinion at least. Then, of course, they added other things like machine learning and audio transcriptions, which are a little questionable. For years, our teams have used machine learning to detect and prevent disruptive behavior, cheating, and disruptive text chat. I hardly believe this is true, because my experience later playing the game came across with a bunch of new players, some of them Brazilian ones, and you can tell where they're typing ja 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 ja, :V, or KYS if you're not doing it to their standards, okay? And then you play with the American players, and it's just screaming in my ears, okay? All right, telling me that I suck. Yeah, I know I suck at the game, okay? But at least I have the battle pass, all right? So that puts me a cut above. Now, our detection methods leverage multiple systems, including in-game reports. That doesn't fucking work, let's be honest here, not for any game in my experience. To identify behavior that drives down the quality, we're expanding our detection capabilities by introducing audio transcriptions in the following weeks after launch. Audio transcriptions allow us to collect a temporary voice chat recording of a reported player. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen a lot of people complaining about this, and for me, I almost look at this as a bit of a non-issue, because for me, at least personally, I'm not, screaming the N-word all the time, or like screaming racial slurs or homophobic, transphobic slurs when I'm playing the game. Like, I might call the other player a fucking dipshit. Maybe that might get called into, like, toxicity. But I've never had the problem of, like, straight up racism and, all that shit in the game. So even if you report me, I hardly doubt I would get banned. If I get banned for saying that you suck at the game, well, then the game is too fucking soft, okay? Simple as that, all right? And I'm glad to get banned then. Now, in this case, generally, I think most people are going to be playing on, like, party chats, PlayStation party chat, Xbox party chat, Discord. I don't think many people are going to be straight up using voice chat anyways, okay? So I think at that point, we're safe. But being that I run this underneath a virtual machine, I actually ended up adding a new interface to my VM, where it's an audio interface that just feeds fart porn, okay? So literally I have like cake farts, let's get this done, thrown into the entire mix, okay? That's being fed in to the Overwatch audio collection down the road. So maybe I'll be completely removed from it. Maybe they'll be sick and tired of hearing my fart pornography played back onto their servers, or maybe I'll get banned for that. I don't know. So if they're gonna collect off of me, I'm just gonna feed them like Rick Astley and fart stuff. Simple as that. Okay. But generally, this is kind of weird that they're doing this. Again, being the fact that I've played multiplayer games and dealt with in-game reporting systems, they literally almost never work, okay? Now, of course, throughout the day later, the queue went from 60,000 to 30,000, and I realized I'm getting a little bit closer. It's going to be a few more hours, but we'll get to it. I loaded up some other games like Need for Speed Heat, and then I realized, damn, bro, the cops in this game have a hard-on for you. Driving through Palm City in Need for Speed Heat makes you feel like the only minority in, like, 1980s Los Angeles. The whole city, LAP, they all hate you, okay? It's simple as that. You're getting fucking destroyed. I mean, this game will test you. People talk about wanting Bloodborne cart. Why? You have Need for Speed Heat. The cops literally have no chill. Of course, then the queue went down to 20,000 players, and then I realized I'm getting sick and tired of getting fisted by law enforcement. So what I did was I downloaded Modern Warfare 2 on Steam. I played with some hackers, which I didn't have fun with. I downloaded the mod IW4X, got some bots, and relived the classic Xbox 360 experience of ranking up on Modern Warfare 2 and using absolutely overpowered perks and class sets. And you know what? I had a great time, all right? I recorded some footage for a video later, where we talk about the most insane YouTube drama of all time. Gaming related, of course. Now, ladies and gentlemen, then the queue went down to 600 players, so I decided to take a shit, and I finally played my first few matches. And to be real with you, I realized just why I deleted Overwatch in the first place. Generally speaking, 9 times out of 10 in your sessions, you're probably going to play with players that don't know what the fuck they're doing, okay? So the whole game is 5v5. You've got 2 supports, 1 tank, and 2 DPS characters, right? Now, me and my friend Amaru played support characters, okay? Basically the healer class, the cuckolds, right, of the video game world. Now, in this case, we were fucking healing the team, and we were also doing the damage, because in this game, you're either going to get, like, a completely functional team, or they're all, like, straight-up window lickers, okay? Like, we're talking motherfuckers that can identify, like, exactly which taste of Windex they've had in the morning, okay? These are, like, the absolute dumbest player bases you will ever find, okay? We're talking about players, we're talking about tanks, okay, that are already on the other side of the map getting killed by themselves. DPS players that are literally practicing pacifism, okay? And healer characters that have to do all goddamn jobs at once, okay? It's not fun, all right? Simple as that. Sometimes you get matches where, like, every player has, like, a functioning brain cell, okay? So they all actually manage their roles just fine. And you know, when you get that, Overwatch 2 is like the best goddamn time in the world, okay? Honestly, any multiplayer is great when you have good sets of teammates. Unfortunately, Overwatch is one of those games where, like, actually having, like, a cogent team is very important because the skills are so, like, intertwined with each other, and there's so much, like, interplay that if your team is completely non-functioning, you're just not gonna have a good time. But overall, I think Overwatch 2 is an okay game. It's definitely not a sequel, okay? It's definitely 1.2, okay? It's Overwatch 1.2. It's literally the same goddamn game rolled over with, like, 1 new character, okay? Simple as that. New additions include the Battle Pass, which, welcome to 2022 gaming, all right? You got Battle Passes and microtransactions. Yeah, get excited. You also have, like, a PvE mode or, like, a story mode, but that's not in the game right now. I think it's going to come down, like, sometime down the road. Overwatch 2 is literally just an update to Overwatch 1, so they can have a long-form game with a battle pass and constant microtransactions. Except this time, you need a few extra steps before you get down to playing. And if somebody reports you, well, they're going to have some of your voice samples to go off of. So that's just how it works. Otherwise, the game is still as lackluster as always, is what I'm going to say. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.